A luxury jewelry store in Manhattan sparkled with priceless pieces, diamonds, emeralds, and gold worth millions. Among the glittering displays stood a woman dressed in plain jeans and a white blouse, with no designer bag or flashy jewelry. Her name was Emma. She wasn't there to buy, just to admire a $12 million emerald necklace she had once seen in a magazine. As she moved closer, a sharply dressed store associate eyed her suspiciously. "May I help you?" she asked, her voice laced with judgment. Emma replied politely, "Just looking." But that wasn't good enough. The associate's gaze turned cold. "This isn't really a place for window shopping," she added, clearly hinting that Emma didn't belong. Emma turned to leave, embarrassed, but just as she approached the door, a loud alarm rang through the store. Everyone froze. Security rushed in. She was near the emerald necklace. The associate shouted, "Check her bag." Emma stood in shock as a guard seized her small purse and searched it on the spot. Nothing was found, but the staff wasn't done. "She could have hidden it in her clothes," the associate said bitterly. The scene drew attention. Shoppers whispered. One customer muttered, "This is why people like her don't belong in here." Emma's voice trembled. "Please, I didn't take anything." Then, the store's front door opened. A tall man in a custom suit stepped inside, sharp jawline, commanding presence, silver gray hair. Everyone recognized him immediately. Alexander King, billionaire entrepreneur and media tycoon. He walked calmly over to Emma and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Is there a problem?" he asked, his voice calm but powerful. The associate went pale. "Sir, this woman, she was acting suspicious," she stuttered. "We thought she might have." Alexander cut her off. "She's my wife." Gasps filled the room. Silence fell. "I'm sorry, sir. We didn't know." The associate stammered. She didn't look. She didn't look like what?" Alexander asked sharply. "Rich enough. Good enough." He turned to the emerald necklace in the case. "We'll take it," he said. The store manager rushed forward. "Of course, Mr. King. Shall we have it delivered to your home?" Alexander didn't respond. He made a call. Within minutes, a man arrived carrying a briefcase. Inside was $12 million in cash. Alexander turned back to the crowd. "My wife can admire whatever she pleases. She doesn't need to steal. She has more grace, intelligence, and dignity than anyone here." He took Emma's hand, kissed her forehead, and walked out with her by his side. But who was Emma? She was born in a small Oregon town. Her parents ran a local grocery store. She had no wealth growing up, no luxury, and certainly no plans to marry a billionaire. She worked as a nurse and volunteered at animal shelters. She never chased money, only meaning. 5 years ago, she met Alexander at a charity event. While everyone else tried to impress him, Emma didn't care about his status. She spoke to him like a person, not a billionaire. That honesty captivated him. A year later, they were married. No press, no grand wedding, just love. Even after the marriage, Emma stayed true to herself. She still cooked, donated her money, and wore comfortable, affordable clothes. She didn't need to prove her worth through things because she already knew it. Back at the jewelry store, the manager fired the associate who had humiliated her. Surveillance footage proved she had touched nothing. The story went viral. Millions around the world were outraged, not just at the accusation but at how fast judgment came. A woman's dignity had been reduced to her outfit. When interviewed later, Emma said, "It wasn't about the necklace. I just admired the beauty. But the way I was treated reminded me how often we judge others by their appearance. I hope we learn to look deeper." The incident led to headlines, hashtags, and endless discussions. But Emma didn't bask in attention. Instead, she donated the necklace to a museum. "Let it be a reminder," she said, "that no one is above or below anyone else." The world praised Alexander's bold gesture, but even more so, Emma's quiet strength. She had been humiliated in public, yet walked out with grace. Not because of her husband's money, but because of her own inner worth. Sometimes, wealth is loud, but character is quiet. And in that quiet strength, Emma proved that simplicity is not weakness and that true luxury is being unapologetically yourself.